Hello, Father Obito here. Greetings from the land of Jesus. I'm here to explore more about Jerusalem. So please join me, and I have more videos to come. Mabuhay. God bless you, and muchas gracias. Dios les bendiga a todos. Hello, Father Obito here. We are in the dance spring. I'll show you this beautiful nature. And this place is in the Golan Heights. Enjoy. Blessings from the land of Jesus. Bye. We are in the dance springs. Look at this. It's beautiful. Wow.
Annually, all right, and all of the water that you see now is coming from the melting ice of Mount Hermon in the parts of Lebanon, Syria, and in Israel. All right, so here's a map of the site. All right, it's written in Hebrew, unfortunately. There's also in English, but we are somewhere here. Okay, we passed this bridge, so we are here. This is the parking lot. We'll be walking all this way, which is behind you. All right. There's so many trees, as you can see. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. But over here, at this point of the bridge, we have to do like a voting, guys. Because if we go to the left, we're gonna start the long trail. Okay, that goes all around the sides. Okay, it covers all the national park. But if we go right, it's gonna be the shorter trail. All right. Usually, this one, the long one, takes more or less 2 hours to finish it, including explanation. We stop like at the Celtic place, we stop at the Israelite gate, we stop at the Abraham's gate, we explain some of the places, and passing by some other things, all right? Like a lookout a bunker lookout here, overlooking Lebanon, Syria, and the bunkers that was used. If we do the short trail, we see the wading pool here. We pass by it, and then at one point we can visit the Israelite gate and walk all the way to the Abraham's gate and come back. In any case, no matter if we take the short one or the long one, all right, we have to end somewhere here at the Abraham's gate, and this is another gate that leads us outside the national park. All right, so we're not coming back here; we're coming to another place. All right. So let's go somewhere, start walking, and on the way we can.
So this is the Dam Nature Springs.
Miałby się kawał, ale akurat ten kawał nie ma nic do tyle, to występuje jak.
Wow, look at the flow of the water. It's so strong. And we are starting our ascent. A lot of trees in this area and stones, big stones. The good thing here is you can enjoy the nature and the breeze and green and water are everywhere. They are everywhere. Flowers. Look at that. The spring of waters. There is an abundance of water here. It's nice. This is a forest.
It's farther back, right?
It's like a mini forest. Nice. Wow, amazing. The waters are everywhere. And it's a fresh water. Welcome to the dance spring. Everywhere. It's beautiful. Look at it. The statue tree, look up. The ancient dam. Is this a bottle of water? Okay. So this place is dance, or this is the place of Daniel. Dance place. After quite a long walk, there is a tree. Big tree. And you can see the mountains. It's beautiful up here.
Other people would come, build on top of it, and by time it's a mountain. It's an artificial mountain. So here we are, where we are now, it's like layers above layers. It's called Tel. Then Dan, the name Dan. This is one of the tribes of Israel. And before we get to that, this place over here, as the Bible tells us, was first called Leshem or Laish, and it was first inhabited by Canaanites, by Sidonians. Those are the ancient groups that came here before, or were living here before the Israelites. Look around you. This is a very strategic place, all right, to be in. Even in ancient times. I mean, you have water. You have the Dan River, which is a very strong river. It's more or less above sea level. We're here, more or less, you could say 800 meters above sea level. And it's guarding, and it's more or less on a major routes, all right? It's first of all the Via Maris itself, the ancient road, the way of the sea. It passes by here, by Dan, by Caesarea Philippi, all right? When we go to Caesarea Philippi, if you choose to do the archaeological hike, you can see part of that, of the Via Maris, where you saw it in Capernaum, if you remember, right? So in front of us is Syria, Lebanon as well. So we are now in a strategic point. If you take this place, if you conquer this place, you can access easily to Syria, to Lebanon, to Israel as well. So this is why the Sidonians, the Canaanites were settling here. And the when we continue the hike, we're gonna see a gate. This is the oldest vaulted gate in Israel, and some people say in the world, all right? It was built from the time of the early bronze, we call it, or the middle bronze. We're talking about 2,000 years, 1800 years before Jesus Christ, from the time of Abraham, all right? From the time of the middle bronze. And the Bible itself mentions Tel Dan in so many biblical accounts. So if you can give me like a chance to read for that, for example, it's written in the book of Genesis 12. All right, let me take that chapter and read it for you. Genesis 12. All right. So the Lord, this is when like God commanded Abraham to leave Ur and to, of course, to come to the promised land. But on the way, he passed by the mountains of Haran, right, which is the chain of mountains right behind those chains, all right, in somewhere in Turkey. And this is what the Bible tells us. The Lord had said to Abraham, "Go from your country, your people and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all people on earth will be blessed through you." And so this is where it's believed that when Abraham came, he passed by Iran, he came into the promised land. This is where he entered from. Okay, we're gonna see that gate. I'm saying this over here because later we're gonna see the gate. Okay, but he used maybe that gate to enter into the promised land, and from here he went all the way to Shechem, and then to Mamre and to Beersheba, where he settled over there. All right, for a long time. Then also there's another mentioning of Tel Dan in the Bible. It's written in the book of Genesis 14 as well, which is like the 2 chapters after that story. So after Abraham comes to here, he settled with his, with Lot and their wives, but then they had to apart at some point, and Lot was at some point taken captive by the north kings, by the kings of the north who were settling here in Sidonia and Lebanon. So in the Bible, in Genesis 14, it tells us, just a second. So Genesis 14, when Abraham heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. All right. So that is one of the earliest mentioning of this place as Dan. And of course, there's another mentioning in the Bible marking the borders of Israel, all right, from Beersheba, which is very, very south, and as far as Dan, all right. And this would be the borders of the land during the time of the tribes of Jacob. But as I said, the name was referred to Dan.
Dan went up to fight against the Leshem and took it, dwelled therein, and called Leshem Dan after the name of Dan, their father. The book of Joshua, chapter 19, verse 47. Pile of stone. Amazing. It is a stone walls to protect from the enemy. So amazing the architecture of these stone walls. I think it's gonna be hard just to touch it.
Around 900, 700 before Christ, all right? But this was the entrance, and you can see the pile of stones to your right was once a market, shops, and you can see where there's like some rocks are gathered on top of a high platform. This was, of course, like an altar. You can you see that in every at the entrance of every Israelite Jewish state at that time. You will see a market. You will take, change your money or buy goats or anything. You will do a small sacrifice, right, on that altar. We call it mitzvot, or the high standing platforms. And then you go inside the city, all right, through the gates. So you cannot see the gates from here very well. We can but walk to that area and see the city gate, all right. And also, if we keep going up, all right, we can go to an area where we can see an altar, the altar built by Jeroboam, all right, where all the sacrifices used to take place at that time, all right. So are you willing to do that?
Yes. We go down here and then
Yes, we can
because
come.
if sister wants to stay, some people want to stay here, they can. or
Okay.
not.
Yeah, of course. Because we are moving to there to see Abraham's gate.
Yeah.
And you can see the gate where we'll be leaving.
So this is not the gate.
This is a gate. No, there's two gates here. There's one Israelite gate, which is this one, 1,000 years before Christ.
This is 1,000 years before Jesus Christ.
Is from the time of Abraham. You could say 1,800 years before Christ. It's much older.
And he defiled the high places where the priest had burned incense and break down the high places of the gates. 2 Kings 23 verse 8. We'll go inside. Wow.
So guys, in every city, the moment you enter to the city, you will find someone like here, like me, sitting, all right, waiting for you. Either he will, greet you, or yeah, spear you, or judge you to death, or anything, all right? Yes, and this is called the king's seat, as it's written in the second book of Kings, all right? And usually kings or judges would be sitting here. Usually it had a curtain.
And the king arose and sat in the gate, and all the people came before the king. 2 Samuel verse 19.
Get out of the way.
And where Marie is sitting, usually next to the king would be judges or, like today ministers sitting here and advising him.
There, huh?
Yes, absolutely. All right.
This is
So
the
that would
chair
be
of the king.
officially the.
I just can say something.
You want to say?
Because, yeah, sorry.
Of course.
Can you hear me?
Stand up there.
Yes.
Stand up
Yeah, I can
there.
sit up here. No, because it's, I think, very powerful.
Then went Boaz up to the gate, and he took 10 men of the elders of the city, and said, Sit you down here. And they sit down. From Ruth chapter 4 verses 1 and 2.
Когда здесь проводили раскопки в этом районе, то
He wanted to know because there was someone else who has the right to marry.
But if you go back to the Bible, to
These are the
to
chambers.
the Old Testament, to the story of Jericho, maybe this rings a bell, rings a bell in your head or something, bring it back memory. During the time, when Jericho, before it was conquered by the Israelites, you know the story. The people in the village was living in the city walls, right? She was living in the city walls. How come she was living in the city walls? In every wall that was found from that time, we saw those chambers, right? This is what we call the four-chamber gate. And look, this was used as a house, right? By some of the people who couldn't afford buying a house in the village or in the country, they would come and live in the wall itself, right? So I guess it's enough space to make a house, a living room or something, right? And there's so many people who were living in those things, just like Rahab in the Bible, right?
The pathway or the way, cobblestone. You need energy to come in this place. Says here no passage, so this is the cul-de-sac of the place. Dead end.
Come on, Cindy.
Everyone's doing good.
Cindy wants to be like an adventurous today.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, much more present. many people used to live here? It wasn't. It was a big place. Maybe you could say 4,000, something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And it goes deeper and deeper.
Yes, it goes deeper. There's a big sacrificing place, an altar. It was a major place at that time because people would come to here all the time if they want to make sacrifices.
What's the name of this place again?
Teldan or Leshem or Laish.
So this is kind of the first city that Israel was building.
No, of course.
It was after.
One of the first. One of the first. But we found so many cities.
So when
like
he
between this
entered,
time.
Abraham entered.
Abraham, not from here. No, this is way after Abraham.
Right.
You can say 600 years after
Oh,
Abraham.
okay. So he entered and then went all the way to the north.
Yes.
I thought he entered and stayed, built here. See.
No. He
No, okay.
only passed through the
Yeah.
gate itself.
Basalt is volcanic rock, isn't it?
Yes, basalt.
It's the hardest.
Absolutely. Very hard to carve.
So, and there was a supply of it locally, or it was imported?
No, it was from here.
From here. Okay, yeah.
Full of basalt and granite.
Okay.
You can see some of the storage houses here to the right. For the temple,
Storage houses.
a debate between Rehoboam and Jeroboam, who's going to take the land, who's going to inherit the land from King Solomon. And at some point, Jeroboam, the person who built this, he went to Egypt. He met Shishak, the pharaoh, and they both said, "Okay, let's go and kill Rehoboam and conquer the land." But at that time, Rehoboam, the son of King Solomon, he basically was refortifying all the earlier fortresses, and he was able to, to somehow defend himself from the attack of Shishak and Jeroboam. So what was given to Jeroboam, or what he was able to take, is the northern part of Israel. But then, since he has a debate with Jeroboam, he's not going to send his people to Jerusalem, to the temple in Jerusalem, and to make sacrifices. So they told him, "I will build for you two alternative temples, and you don't need to go to Jerusalem." He built one as the Bible tells us, in the book of Kings. He built one here in Teldan and one in Beit El. So what you're looking at over here is, you can see, first of all, the four-horn altar. Okay, this standing stainless steel structure, and this is mainly where the sacrifices would take place. But if you look behind it, you can see stairs and a very high platform. This is where believed the golden calf was standing. Right, those people used to do sacrifices not for God, but for the golden calf. All right, and this what led by time to the destruction of the northern kingdom, and because so many Jewish started following and worshiping false gods. Right, so most archaeologists believe that the whole thing that you see over here, we're talking about the year 900 before Christ. All right. So beside this, if you want, also you can look to the
And
left side, you
Jeroboam
can see,
ordained a
some
feast,
rooms.
and he offered upon the
Some
altar
rooms to the left,
sacrificing
to the left
and to
of
the
structure.
calves, and
Those
ordained
were
a feast
storage
into the
rooms
children
where
of
they kept
Israel.
some of the sacrifices,
And
or
he offered upon
some
the
of the,
altar
uh,
and
some
burnt
of the
incense.
outlines over there, or,
1
where
Kings
would,
chapter
priests as
12,
well sit and
32
teach
to
other
33.
priests what to do and what to, how to act like priests. All right. So, do what?
You can't teach priests.
I was gonna say.
I mean, no. I mean, you trained them, to just.
Good luck with that.
Yes, I don't know. All right. So that is most predicted what was the use of that structure. Okay. And also you can see here another structure that was renovated later during the Hellenistic. That's the only thing that is renovated.
I'll show you this temple of Jeroboam.
collapsed, all this infidelity.